What's up, YouTube? So, I don't know if you've heard of this little game called Arc Raiders. I literally heard about it today. It came across my recommended on YouTube, and at first I went into it very closed-minded. Now, I normally don't go into looking at new games and new things closed-minded, but I like certain types of aesthetics for like shooters, specifically extraction shooters. Like if it's gonna be a milsim, then I don't know, like milsim is easier to do. And then we have the sci-fi extraction shooter. The only sci-fi extraction shooter that I've ever liked was the Cycle Frontier, and that is Dead and Gone. Well, not technically. I think there's a mod. I haven't dove too deep into that yet, but I'm pretty sure there's a mod out there. I'm in the Discord for it, but like I said, I didn't dig too deep. I just kind of joined the Discord and I didn't really follow up on it because there's just too many games out right now. Anyways, I like a certain type of aesthetic, and I don't really like the guns that are made out of like pipe pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like if all the guns are made out of like pipe pieces and bolts and rusty things, I don't really like those type of weapons, right? I don't really like those type of weapons in the game. So I went into this game thinking, I don't know, man, I'm not going to be able to play this game. I don't really like the fact that everything that looks like that. Your backpack kind of looks like that. You're wearing like dusty, dirty clothes. Like it's in the wrong type. That's how I went into this trailer, or not trailer, but it was a video basically talking about all the different features and all the different things that are in this tech test, right, of Arc Raiders. Now, it's a tech test. It didn't say like alpha or beta, so I feel like it's earlier than that. Not unless it is an alpha and they're just calling it a tech test. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, I didn't dig too deep, but they were just talking about all the features of the game. And while listening to all of this, I'm like, Marathon might be cooked. I don't think Marathon has enough completed to outdo Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders looks good, despite the pipe guns and stuff. There's other guns that are better looking than that and better than that in the higher tiers of gun. Like I saw better looking weapons, so I was like, okay, the pipe guns are like the base weapons. They're the old rusty nasty looking guns, and then like you'll get better weapons and more sophisticated weapons later on, right? So I was like, okay, I can get past that, right? I'm cool with that. But then I'm looking at this on like a very small screen on my phone while I'm like at work and listening to this in my headphones. So when I got home, I decided to like pull it up and look at it, and the world looks way better. The world looks way better. The animations, the characters, everything just looks way better and more polished than Marathon right now. And somebody said, I forget who I was listening to, but they were saying that the version of the game that they were playing for the test of the game was 2 months, like 2 months behind the actual build of the game that they're supposed to be like releasing, right? So I'm like, even if it's 6 months, that's like not a lot of time to really like is it though? Is it a lot of time to really completely overhaul the game to make me feel like this made me feel the first time I saw it? Because the two videos that I put out about Marathon were basically like, I hope this game doesn't suck. Bungie's getting ready to put out an extraction shooter. It looks pretty interesting, but is it going to be the extraction shooter to play? Like, is everybody going to get into it? And there was also the question about like, it costs $40. Are people really going to spend $40 on it? And I was like, yeah, I'll probably spend $40 on it because I want to play it. I like extraction shooters, and I'm going to support the game. But then again, after seeing Arc Raiders, it kind of changed my perspective. Now, like I said, I still don't want Marathon to fail. I want a good AAA extraction shooter. But the problem with AAA games and making games like these extraction shooters and hardcore games is that they want to make things so that people don't get frustrated. And it's like, if you don't want to get frustrated in an extraction shooter game, you probably shouldn't be playing an extraction shooter game. I'm like very tired of these AAA companies, right? These AAA companies making games easier so that more people get into the game. Basically, I know you've heard it a million times. I know you've heard it a million times from other people, but when you make a game for everyone, you make a game for no one. Now, you probably have to do that as a large company, because if you have to make a game that you get as many people into as possible, because your investors need a return on their investment. And it sucks that you have to do that, where it's like you need to make sure that you make the investors money. So you have to do all these things that are anti-player to get your investors money back, right? And so that you can break even and then make a profit and then pay them back and pay them interest or whatever you got to do, right? And it sucks. But I'm like, there's got to be people out there who are investors that enjoy playing good video games. Are there no people out there that enjoy playing good video games that have a lot of money? I guess not. Or at least there's not enough of them, because there's definitely a lot of streamers out here and YouTubers that are making bank, right? But they're not making the type of bank, I guess, that an investor would have, where they're investing hundreds of millions of dollars into these games, which you shouldn't really have to invest that much money into a game to get it to be solid. You know what I'm saying? Because there's game studios right now making games like, I guess, Expedition 33. How many people did they say they have in their studio? I think it was like 30 something devs that are making Expedition 33. I think it was 30, because I remember them saying, oh, it was 30 and it's 33, whatever. But like, there's like 30 something devs or whatever making Expedition 33, and it looks like an amazing game. Now, Expedition 33 came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere for me, and they have been dropping game after game, not this studio, but like in general, games have just been dropping out of nowhere, right? It's like literally Oblivion dropped out of nowhere. Oblivion was like, we're gonna announce Oblivion Remastered. You guys can play it today. I thought they were gonna say tomorrow, but they said today. And I'm like, all right, man, y'all can't just be dropping these games on me, because I got other stuff to play. I've been playing Lords of the Fallen 2.0. I played that all Sunday, 2 weeks ago, and then like a week ago, last Sunday I played it all day on stream, and I uploaded a video of it, me and my friend playing the co-op, and it was great. It was great, and I intended to finish the game, or at least get deeper into the game, and then Oblivion drops, and I'm like, all right, well, let me play a little bit of Oblivion, right? And then I also need to play Street Fighter, because Street Fighter I'm going to be competing in, and I need to play Tekken because I'm going to be competing in that too when I go to EVO in August, or at the end of July. So like, I'm kind of like messing around. Like, I'm not messing around, but I'm playing matches of Street Fighter off stream. I'm not really posting anything about that yet. I'll probably go back to streaming Street Fighter when I get closer to EVO. So like probably around maybe July, maybe June, I'll start streaming Street Fighter again and playing like a lot. I got to get all these things out of the way so that when I come back from EVO, that I can get geared up for this next section of gaming that's about to drop on us, which is Borderlands 4, Marathon, and GTA 6. Dude, I still want to play Cyberpunk DLC. I've not gotten a chance to really dig into the Cyberpunk DLC. Cyberpunk is just one of my favorite games, right? And I have not gotten to play the DLC yet because I've been playing other stuff. And I usually, the games that I really like, I want to kind of have a clear slate and just play those things without any interruptions, right? And so that it's been hard to find like a little like pocket to play Cyberpunk's DLC in, right? There's just a lot going on. Bungie needs to get on the ball with Marathon if they don't want their game to just get shot down, right? You know what I'm saying? Like they need to get it together, because Arc Raiders, whenever Arc Raiders comes out, if Marathon is not on point, Arc Raiders is going to take all their players. Arc Raiders is coming out on all platforms. I don't know how much the game's gonna cost, but even if the game costs 60 or 70 bucks, well, no, I don't know, man. If the game costs I don't know, man. If the game costs 60 or 70 bucks, people still might choose this game, because to have an extraction shooter, to have a good extraction shooter, people were willing to pay the big bucks for Escape from Tarkov. Now, I also bought Escape from Tarkov, but I bought whatever the lowest priced thing was, the base game. I didn't buy the thing with all the extra stuff in it, right? Because I didn't want to do that. But people always bring up that, oh, Escape from Tarkov costs like $300 or something like that. No, it doesn't. It costs like 50 bucks or something like that. And that's the base game. If you want all the extra things that come with the game, yeah, you're going to be paying a whole bunch of money for all the extra things. And it's like, if you're super hardcore into Tarkov, maybe it's worth it to you. But if you don't need that, then you don't need to buy it, right? So people will choose this if it is significantly better than Marathon over playing Marathon for $40. If Marathon was the only extraction shooter on the horizon that was especially a AAA extraction shooter, they would only have to worry about not having enough players. And it's funny because today, before I even heard about Arc Raiders, I heard that Borderlands 4 moved their game up 2 weeks. I think they moved it up 2 weeks. They moved it from the 23rd of September release date to September 17th release date. And Marathon is coming out the 23rd. To me, I was like, I guess they're just trying to get ahead of it so that like people can play the game for the 2 weeks before Marathon comes out, and everybody hops on Marathon. Because if both of the games come out on the same day, then people have a decision to make. They're like, do I play Borderlands first or do I play Marathon first? Now, I thought that most likely people would probably play Borderlands 4 first, because it's a safer bet to spend your money on that game than to spend 40 bucks on Marathon, especially when it's an extraction shooter and it's not like a game that like a lot of people would like hop into and get good with. Like, it's a competitive game, right? So less people are willing to get into competitive games than to get into something like Borderlands 4, where it's co-op with your friends and you're like looting and having all this fun and stuff like that, right? So they moved theirs up, and I think they just did Marathon a favor. They were like, I don't think it was they're scared of Marathon. I really don't think they were scared of Marathon. If they are, I'm not sure why they would be scared of Marathon, unless they really think Marathon is about to go crazy and they know something that we don't. But I feel like they did Marathon a favor by moving their thing up 2 weeks so that people could play Borderlands 4, play through the story for like 2 weeks, do some looting, get their stuff together, and then go, okay, let's hop over to Marathon, play Marathon, see how it is. If it's great, then people will play it. They've already played Borderlands and they can come back to Borderlands anytime. And then, it is what it is. If it sucks, then they can just go back to playing Borderlands and continue looting and whatnot. So I don't know, man. I just think that this game might take away some Call of Duty players, because if they play DMZ, if people out there play DMZ, I don't know if people still play DMZ. I've never liked the DMZ. I think it's one of the most trash extraction shooters out there. But if people are playing DMZ still, they are going to leave DMZ for this game, Arc Raiders. Marathon might lose players to Arc Raiders. People will hop off of Tarkov, possibly hop off of Tarkov to play Arc Raiders. And then you have, what is it? Arena Breakout Infinite will probably catch a stray and lose some players to Arc Raiders. You know what I'm saying? But see, the thing about Arena Breakout Infinite is free to play. So they might not take as hard of a hit as like some of these other games that have like you have a price tag, right? Because they probably have a lot of players. They have enough players playing their game. I need to go back and play some Arena Breakout Infinite, because I really do like Arena Breakout Infinite. I just have no one to play with, and I always play solo by myself. And it's not boring. Don't get me wrong, it's not boring, but like I like playing with people, and it more than I don't. So like I'd rather play something where, you know, I can get my friends to play it, or, you know, I'm gonna have like people in chat playing it, whatever, who, you know, just stuff like that. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about Arc Raiders and Marathon and all the games and stuff that have been coming out. And one last thing, I forgot to mention, Arc Raiders, if you have not done so, I don't even know if you'll be able to do so tomorrow, but I've signed up for the test. They're doing another test run of this game. I don't know if it's a beta or alpha, but it's a tech test. They're doing another tech test. Literally, I guess today is when you will see this video. But they're doing one today, and I went into Steam, went to their page, and just hit request access. And I don't know if I'll actually get access, but I'll find out when I get home from work if I got access. If I do have access, then I'll stream it tonight. But if not, then I'm just gonna go back to playing Power World, because that's the other random game I decided to play yesterday, since my friends wanted to play Enshrouded. And I was like, yeah, I'll mess around in Enshrouded, and found out they already had level 25 characters. I was starting from level 1. I couldn't revive myself if I died, because it was strange. They didn't have to worry about dying because they were super strong already. And I'm just like, let's play a different survival game. So I'm trying to get them to play Power World, because I haven't touched Power World since I bought it when it came out. And I don't think they've touched Power World at all either. So that's probably what I'm going to go back to streaming if I don't have access, at least for the next couple of days. And this weekend, maybe play Lords of the Fallen if I don't have access to Arc Raiders. If I have access to Arc Raiders and this game runs well on my computer, because that's another thing, I've been having some performance issues with games. They need to get their performance together. I have a 3080 with a Ryzen 9 5900X and 64 gigs of RAM. I know it's not the most up-to-date system, because there's like 50 series out and 4090s and stuff like that is out, but 3080 is nothing to sneeze at. Ryzen 9 5900X is nothing to sneeze at. 64 gigs of RAM is nothing to sneeze at. But like, for some reason, these games just have performance issues over and over and over and over again. So and even they have these same performance issues, but just a little less of a problem for 40 series cards and 50 series cards. It doesn't even matter what cards you have, and it almost doesn't matter what CPU you have, unless you have the best CPU on the market for gaming, which is like, I think it's a Ryzen 7 9800X 3D or something like that. And if you have that and you have like a 5090, you can brute force your way through any performance problems pretty much. So like, they think that, oh no, it runs great, it runs perfect. Yeah, if you have the best of the best setup ever, like, that doesn't make any sense. Make the games so that people that have hardware that's a few years old can still play these games, because it doesn't make any sense for you to just axe like half the player base, because now they can't barely play the game. If Monster Hunter Wilds had better performance, they might have sold even more games. But it's crazy that they sold what they sold, and everybody on PC is having the worst nasty issues with this game, and I still played through it, even though I had insanely bad performance with the game. But I got it to be playable and still played it. Even Oblivion is not really running as well as I would like it. In order for me to play it and be playable and smooth, I have to lower it to 30 FPS and turn on motion blur to deal with the little hitches so you don't see it that much. Add a mod to make the motion blur better. Add Ultimate Engine tweaks and Lumen begons to get rid of some of this stuff to make it cleaner, and then also lower it to 900p. And that's the only way I get to play Oblivion. And it doesn't look bad at all, but it's just like, come on, why do I have to do all that on a 3080 with 64 gigs of RAM and a Ryzen 9 5900X? Why do I have to do all of that just to get this game to run, because they decided to use Unreal Engine 5. I hate Unreal Engine 5. I think Unreal Engine 5 sucks. It looks cool, it makes things look good, but it runs like trash on everything unless they just don't know how to optimize the games. What games are you guys playing right now? And are you looking forward to Arc Raiders? Are you looking forward to Marathon? Do you think that Marathon is going to get gobbled up by this game, Arc Raiders? Do subscribe to this channel and check out my other channels up at the top of my main page. Me and my friends did we made fun of flat earthers. So if you want to check that out, that's on my second channel, EyeonFGC Plus. You can check that out and subscribe to that channel too. And yeah, please do like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.